Well, hey there. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. If you're brand new to this channel, yay, you finally found me. I'm so glad. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. Anytime you like the video, subscribe, of course, or even comment down below, it spreads magical YouTube fairy dust all over my channel so that it can grow and more people can find it. And so I really appreciate that. All right, so the movie I'm reviewing today is called Freelance. Now, this action comedy is available to stream on Amazon Prime and in select theaters. As you know, my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a particular film. Well, this particular film is rated R and is an hour and 48 minutes. My movie review mom grade is probably a C, maybe even a C plus. I actually got a kick out of it, and I think I liked it more than most film critics. So I'm going to give you an overview in a nutshell, and then I'll point out things I liked and didn't like, as well as offer tips for parents, themes worth talking about, funny lines, interesting lines, and recommendations for other films that are sort of similar that you might also like, or maybe you'll like better than this one. All right, you ready to dive in? Me too. So, in a nutshell, an ex-special forces operative takes a job to provide security for a journalist as she interviews a dictator in a foreign country. But when a military coup breaks out in the middle of the interview, they are forced to escape into the jungle to survive. This movie is directed by Pierre Morel and written by Jacob Lentz. So, based on the terribly low score of 7% by film critics on Rotten Tomatoes, I can say I definitely enjoyed this movie more than other film critics. But during its opening week, it sat at an embarrassing 0%. Yikes. Audience, however, liked it more, giving it a 77% grade. And that aligns with my grade of a C or C plus. So there were a lot of things I really liked about it. For example, John Cena is such a beast. I get a kick out of all of his movie performances. So how about you? I know some people don't like him, but he just makes me laugh because he's so enormous. And he's got some good comedic chops, I think. The story features a guy with special forces training in the army. Those guys are such total stud muffins. And one of my sons is even in the army, and so I really admire them. I've always liked Alison Brie and was happy to see her in a movie again. She looks beautiful in every single scene and definitely puts off a sexy vibe. I think originally when she started off, it was more of the girl next door type of vibe, but in this one, she levels up. It's great to see Christian Slater again. He's looking good, and I've been a fan of his since maybe the very first time I remembered seeing him was in the old Robin Hood movie, Prince of Thieves, with Kevin Costner. Do you remember that? I really liked him in that one. Anyway, all of the cast members of this movie about the Banana Republic politics did a really great job and included Martin Sokas, John Pablo Raba, and adorable Molly McCann. The soundtrack is fun, energetic, and even humorous at times. The choices of the songs, I should say. There's a lot of snappy and funny dialogue, lots of visual and spoken humor. Now, I don't know why, but I always love it when characters in a movie reference other movies. In this one, it's a slam on how terrible the movie Delta Force was. And I just thought that that was kind of funny. What did you think of that movie? Comment down below. It also quotes a line from the movie The Godfather. Now, I love twists and turns, and there are quite a few of them in this story. So the viewer is never quite sure who is telling the truth. There is a lot of action and many fight sequences. Now, I actually talked to somebody who thought there weren't enough action sequences or action scenes. And I thought, no, I thought there were enough. I don't know. Maybe because it's John Cena, they were hoping for more. I don't know. I was fine with it. I also thought it was really funny that President Venegas's white suit stayed perfectly white throughout the entire jungle ordeal. I'm sure that was intentional because the other characters, had dirt on their face and their clothes were, kind of messy and dirty. I love that the movie doesn't take itself too seriously, while at the same time sharing some insightful messages. Now, with all of that praise, there were obviously some things I didn't like or thought could have been done differently or better. For example, it's as if the movie can't really decide if it's a comedy or an action or a drama. Now, it's actually a bit of all three, really, but the tone shifts so much that it's hard to know what the filmmakers were going for, kind of like they were throwing spaghetti at the wall and waiting to see what was going to stick. Now, I think just the presence of John Cena alone, and I think the trailer and even the movie poster instantly told me it was going to be a comedy. So that's what I expected. But I'm mentioning this because other people were expecting something else. And there didn't have to be as much profanity, blood, or nudity in this movie. In that regard, it's not family friendly. So let me give you some tips for parents. There is a lot of profanity, including many F-bombs, both in English and Spanish. Violence with various weapons, as well as hand-to-hand combat, and we kind of expected that. A woman throws up after drinking too much alcohol, and we see that, and that's always disgusting. There's talk of having an affair. Some Spanish is spoken, sometimes with subtitles, sometimes without. I speak Spanish, and so it's always interesting to hear what they're saying. But I don't know that anything was super crucial to the story if you don't speak Spanish and you miss it. Again, it's just trying to give you that vibe that you're in a foreign country that is a Spanish-speaking country, somewhere Central or South America. A girl flips the bird. We see people get shot and killed. There is some blood, lots of explosions and destruction, people in perilous situations. And we see the top half of three naked people coming out of these outside showers, that you might see if you were camping or something like that. A woman covers her chest, and I can't remember if she uses both hands or one, but it's not quite enough to cover everything. And then the men, they're just, shirtless, and we don't see anything below the waist, that kind of thing. So just a heads up on that comment. All right, so some of the themes that are illustrated well in the movie are purpose, your purpose in life, protecting others, brotherhood in the special forces, broken dreams, corporate greed, journalism, trust and betrayal, politics, the power of the media, and military coup. So whenever I watch movies, I take notes, and I especially write down funny lines and interesting lines simply so I can share them with you so you can get a taste and feel for the dialogue. And so I have them all on my moviereviewmom.com website, but I'll share a few of them here with you right now. So John Cena plays a character whose name is Mason Pettis. And he says, I've got a wife and a kid, and they both require income, which is why he's explaining why he accepted this dangerous job. Actually, he thought it wasn't going to be dangerous at all. And then President Venegas is played by Juan Pablo Raba. And I just thought he just did such a great job. He's hilarious. And he says, are you sure you're okay? You want a massage? And so he doesn't take this role as president seriously. He's goofy and fun and spontaneous, and he just shows up at moments that just made me laugh. So another line that John Cena's character says is, dictators don't get to sing, because this dictator is, he starts singing. And anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. Then another conversation between John Cena's character and the President Venegas character is when John Cena says, I would be so bad at being a dictator. And then President Venegas says, no, it just takes practice. I just thought that was kind of funny. And then as I looked at my notes, I wrote down this funny line, but I don't remember who said it. I think it was just a random bad soldier guy. And so he's speaking again to somebody else, and he says, your American friend, you really have hit bottom. So America definitely takes some slams. It's all done tongue in cheek, but I'm always amused by that. Okay, and then another conversation between John Cena's character and Juan Pablo Raba's character, the president. John Cena says, how many people in this room want to kill you right now? And so the president says, probably half. And then he looks around and he goes, more than half. So a lot of people are in these dangerous situations. But now it's not just all comedy. I thought it was funny, but there are also some really profound lines, and there's some character growth with certain characters, actually almost all of them. Anyway, John Cena says a couple of interesting lines. He yells out at one point, learn things. And I guess you have to know the scenario to think that that's interesting or profound or even funny, but it was at the time. And then another moment, John Cena's character, as he's running and trying to escape these really bad guys, he says, embrace the suck. And that, in case you don't know, is actually a reference to a famous book called Embrace the Suck, the Navy SEAL way to an extraordinary life. Anyway, I just really like the mantra of embrace the suck because it helps you build grit because there's going to be a lot of really sucky times in your life. There just are. All right, so let me give you some recommendations for 3 movies I instantly thought of while I was watching this. The first one is The Lost City. Now, that's a really cute Sandra Bullock film that came out on Netflix last year, or maybe it was the year before. Time is flying really fast. And it's just got that same goofy survive in the jungle kind of vibe and lessons learned and humor and some drama and people in perilous situations. I got a kick out of that one. Then another very old one is called Romancing the Stone. I don't remember if that was the 80s or the 90s now, but also surviving in the jungle and trying to escape dangerous people. And there's some romance and life lessons about priorities and that kind of stuff. And then another movie I thought of is The Covenant. And that is a completely different kind of movie. And so you're probably thinking, why are you recommending that one? If you want a real, true survival type of story, this is based in Afghanistan. Fantastic acting. Jake Gyllenhaal is unbelievably awesome. And it's just a gritty drama of surviving and embracing the suck and doing what you need to do. And also because, they're military. I can't remember if he was special forces. I think so. And maybe that was the connection why I wrote that as a movie that you might be interested in seeing. Anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. When you get a minute, run over to Instagram and you can follow me at Movie Review Mom, but also as Trina Boice, which is my name. And you can learn about my books when they are up for free on Amazon, my online courses, and some other goofy stuff that I do. Have a fantastic day, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.